Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray, and thank you for watching. Today, we're going to be talking about Final Space Season 3, Episode 2. I was actually able to find the episode online, so I got some screenshots for you that I'll put up periodically throughout the video, like I have been doing with most of my anime reviews. You're going to be seeing this on the 29th, although I am filming this on the 28th. I was happy that I was actually able to find the episode earlier than I thought. Because sometimes, with getting the episode online, it's just a little bit of a pain. A little bit dark out today, rainy day where I am, so we'll see how good this ends up looking on the GoPro. I'm not using my lights today, trying to just do the natural light thing and see how that whole pans out. So we start with Quinn and Gary looking at a final space consumed Earth, and the thoughts that people are alive quickly dwindle to none. Very, very bad. So Kevin and Hugh are like, hey, you can't just go to Earth because the gravity pull will probably kill you. And then Kevin does it anyway. Gary and Quinn do it anyway. They grab onto Kevin's arm. They end up getting smacked on the ground a little bit hard, but nothing too majorly bad. They end up in Paris. And Hugh was like, I've always wanted to be in a body in Paris, in the love city of the world. It's beautiful. And you just see everything is destroyed. Like, literally everything. Like, the Eiffel Tower is cracked in two. There's dead floating bodies everywhere, broken baguettes and things all around. Very post-apocalyptic scene going on here. And then something grabs Gary. We don't know what it is for a brief moment of time, but quickly find out that it is an army of Kevins. So they're the newest, the latest model. Army of Kevins takes him to this bunker. Quinn follows after them, eventually showing up. We get introduced to this new cute little character, cute little tiger guy. He's like a cat. He's purring and licking Gary. It's pretty adorable. Quinn shows up with a gun pointed at his face, and then he does his little gimmick. And he's just a nice, cute little character. He's like an Ewok or a Porg. If you're a Star Wars fan, something along those lines, I'm sure he may come of more importance later on. And then we also find the creator of the Kevin bots, also called Kevin, except spelled out, not K-V-N, K-E-V-I-N. And he's kind of a crazy old man at this point in time. He thinks Quinn is a figment of his imagination, in which we later learn that Nightfall appeared to him somehow 6 years ago on Earth, not before it got sucked into Final Space, and hired him to build a interdimensional spaceship in which it can teleport between 2 points. So they now theoretically have a way to get out of Final Space once they get everybody back on the ship, which would be very, very delightful. So they all go out towards the ship. Gary has a nice little moment with Quinn in bed where they've been told to rest and they're about to make out. Quinn's like, hey, I want to make out. And Gary's like, oh, yeah. And there's like a nice little cute love connection there. He was like, oh, you just deposited a nice little love coin in my love bank. And I was like, oh, so cute and adorable. The funny elements in this episode didn't stop the episode before they have, where you get like a funny moment and it just stops the entire episode for 2 minutes. I think that's probably more because of TV networks, things along those lines. But Adult Swim doesn't really care. Adult Swim has been known to definitely switch it up, do more serious things, such as Rick and Morty. But I mean, obviously the executives always want comedy. Seems with American cartoons, everybody just wants comedy. It's very hard to get a serious cartoon as opposed to getting a serious anime, which they have many of, plethora of serious anime. Attack on Titan, for example. Last episode is coming out today. Oh no, I wonder how they're ending the entire series. We'll see how that whole situation pans out in the foreseeable future. But moving on, there are flying fish heads, is what Kevin calls them, not robot Kevin, human Kevin. And they are just like these giant mutant crazy final space creatures that come to feed on the dead flesh of broken planets. So think of them as Final Space's version of vultures is the best way to describe them, although they are attacking Gary and Quinn and Kevin while they are trying to go get the ship that is somewhere in Belgium, Germany. Also very apocalyptic, minus this bunker that seems to be nice, bright, and shiny and new for whatever reason, but that's probably just an animation style, so that way they can show, oh, this is the place that they're going to, as opposed to, oh, they're going to go to this broken down, crappy thing to the right of it, which wouldn't make any sense whatsoever. So while all of that's happening, Tribor and his son Quattro, as he calls them, that's like a nickname. I know he has a longer name than that. He was like, "Oh, we have to go do like maternity leave or something." You know, he was like, "I have to take care of my son and teach him things." So we're going. Quattro says, "See you later" in Spanish. I believe it's Spanish. Shoots apart the rock they're on, and they float out into the distance somewhere in final space. And then it's like, will we ever see you again? And then, you know, Tribor does his annoying thing, as he likes to do, and slowly floats away. Then all of a sudden, they are all kind of like Scotty beamed up, Star Trek reference there. They are all beamed up to the Arachnobots, which we have seen previously. They were just telling Mooncake, you know, don't utilize his full powers again, don't open final space again, or we're going to have to take you away and turn you back into whatever you originally were in the first place. And we learned that Invictus pretty much killed all of them minus like 3 of them. They all said they will protect everybody that's there. You know, you got Ash, Fox, Cheryl, Little Cato. I think that's all the characters that were there, if I remember correctly. And they're all kind of like wrapped up. They explain, oh, you know, we met with Jeffrey. And Little Cato was like, he had some like really dumb name for an arachnoid, and I thought that was kind of funny. I was like, yeah, I call it a giant robotic spider, Jeffrey. It was kind of funny that they played homage to that in the show as well. But then they were all like friendly, you know, we'll protect you, things along those lines. You can stay here for as of the right now with the last ones left. And then lo and behold, here comes frickin' Lord Commander. He is back and badder than ever, literally kills all of the arachnoids, and we know how powerful they are, so that means he got even stronger in final space, probably through the power of Invictus. He's actually looking for Mooncake at the moment. We don't really know what's going to happen. You know, he takes Little Cato by the throat and says, where's Mooncake? You know, Little Cato's like, I wouldn't tell you even if I knew. And then it kind of pans to what Mooncake is actually doing near the end of the episode with Bolo. So he is hanging out with Bolo. They have been kicking some Titan booty. And Bolo comes across the dying star, and he was like, for Ereskis, that was the one that made the deal with Cheryl initially, trying to get her family back. He plans on killing him next, so we may see some sort of giant, crazy Titan battle between those 2 Titans that have actually been named next episode, although we know the ultimate villain that needs to die at some point in time is going to be Invictus. And how do you kill a being which has no form? That's going to be an interesting question on how to play that. Maybe Ash is going to have a major role with that, with her crazy superhuman abilities or super alien abilities, whatever she is. And he and Mooncake create a giant freaking Titan sword that is glowing that I will probably throw a picture up at some point in time. And that's kind of where the episode ends, with Mooncake and Bolo creating this giant sword, planning to go kill Ereskis. So what is going to happen next episode, most likely? So now we have a ship that can possibly get out of final space. So I think Kevin's going to figure out a way to get as many living people, because there's probably some more people that are alive on Earth right now. We don't know this for 100% fact, but, you know, people in bunkers, things along those lines. I'm guessing anyway. They're going to try to rescue all those people on Earth, try to rescue the main crew, you know, get Tribor and his son and everybody else, and then get out of final space. That is obviously going to be the master plan here. However, I think it's going to be one of those things where it's like too good to be true. I'm guessing we're getting between 10 and 13 episodes. I don't think we have an exact episode count to my knowledge. Most likely the 10 range. It's typically the 10 range for final space. And I'm guessing Ereskis is probably either Ereskis or Invictus. One of the two, I think, is probably somehow going to escape final space and just cause some havoc on the actual world. That may be where we end for a possible season 4. We have already heard rumors of season 4, so most likely, yes, we will also be getting a season 4, which will be nice if we get a season 4 as well. I think he planned for like 6 seasons altogether. Olin did, if I am correct. I think what's really hurting it right now, though, is there's like no advertisement for it whatsoever. I mean, it still says TBS Presents when we first watch it, but TBS isn't actually showing the show at all. It's all on Adult Swim now, and I think it's on HBO Max as well. I'm not sure if they're going to release it all at once or just the first 2 seasons are on HBO Max, and the only place you can watch it right now is Adult Swim. And that's, if it is just only Adult Swim, that's what's massively hurting it, because you have all these different streaming platforms. There's not a lot of people that have just regular cable anymore. You know, but they get 2 or 3 different of the streaming platforms, and then that's their primary source. Like if this was released on Netflix, you know, the second this gets released on Netflix, because it will, the first seasons do, it'll blow up, because that's exactly what happened to all of my reviews. Is I reviewed the first like 2 seasons, and then the first 2 seasons popped up on Netflix, and then out of nowhere it's like, oh boom, every video has 1,000 views on it now. I don't think a lot of people know that season 3 is even out yet. My last review got around 200 views, which is still pretty decent for most of my videos. My anime videos kind of range between like 50 to 100 for the most part. Final Space, Rick and Morty always seem to do a little bit hotter for whatever reason. And it's like there's no advertisement for it anywhere. You know, I don't really see a lot of Facebook, you know, social media. I don't see advertisements for it on TV. Even Adult Swim, you know, Cartoon Network doesn't even like say anything about it. So unless you're like on top of it and actually following their social media pages, there was really no press release whatsoever for Final Space Season 3. And that kind of sucks, and that's probably going to hurt the season as a whole, because nobody knows that it's actually out right now. You know, nobody's looking for it, trying to find it, because there's no information about it. There needs to be commercials and things along those lines. Put it on TV, you know, throw some ads up on YouTube. It seems to be a popular show, but it's just advertised very, very poorly, unfortunately, and that's what is probably going to lead to the ultimate downfall of it at some point in time. Either that, or it's going to fully go to Netflix, and everybody's going to watch it, and they're just going to release all 10 episodes at once, which I probably would be fine with that too. They do a lot of that, either that or, you know, 1 episode a week I'd be perfectly fine with if they released it that way on Netflix as well. So we'll just have to wait and see how that whole situation pans out. So I'm going to give this one 8 out of 10. You know, excellent episode overall. The comedy didn't, you know, like drag on the episode for a couple of minutes at a time as it has in the past. But I'm enjoying the season so far. I'm looking forward to the next episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, what you'd like me to do for a future cartoon, anime-related content. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, leave a like, and as always, have a good one.